All right, everybody, this is going to be a 1-year post-install review on the Gator brand GXT 61301 tonneau cover. This is a soft tri-fold tonneau cover for 2009 to 2014 F-150, in specific, a 5.5 foot short bed, as you will find on a Ford Raptor. Install is very easy, very straightforward. Literally follow the instructions word for word, and you should have this thing on in, maybe 10 minutes or less. I've got this side undone at the moment, but as you can see, it's tight here. It's not coming off. It's weatherproof. One thing to note, even with one side, you saw how tight it was to get the tailgate open, which is, I would bargain to say that that's actually probably a good thing, because now you know that your stuff is going to be protected in the back from weather and other elements. As far as security and safety goes, not so much. That's just what you get when you buy a soft cover for your truck. If somebody wants to get in, they're going to get in. It's just soft vinyl fabric, so a knife will cut through that like butter. But the convenience and the cost of a soft cover is much better than something like a hard cover or like a fiberglass topper. So you can see here you got two clips underneath. They look just like a spring-loaded handle. You just pull them down, and then you can flip this thing back. So you got 1, 2, and then you got your straps here, one on each side to keep it from flopping around. As you can see here, this is to be expected from pretty much any tonneau cover. You're going to have some space at the front of your bed that is essentially unusable above the bed rail line. This being a short bed makes it a little bit inconvenient, especially when we're hauling like a 4-wheeler or the 3-wheeler or something large that would take up extra space. Good thing is, this is extremely easy to install and uninstall. Like I said, follow the directions. I had this down to removal in about a minute. That is completely removing this from the bed to carry things such as a 4-wheeler, appliances, or furniture. So I'll show you that clip now. So as you can see, it only took me about a minute to take this thing off. That's start to finish. So let's go ahead and put it back in. Once I get it back in, I'll show you the smallest trick that you're going to need to know when you go to put this thing on for the first time. So start the timer again. Alright, so as you can see, install took me, we'll call it 2 minutes, because I had my compressor that kicked on and I had to shut it off. But yeah, once you get it installed for the first time, it's pretty straightforward. I'll show you the small trick here. You're gonna wanna make sure that the plastic bed rail caps are pushed the whole way forward, because otherwise whenever you go to shut your tailgate, it's gonna push this whole thing forward into the back of your window trim there. And I'm pretty sure the instructions actually tell you to do this anyways. For these inside clamps mount, there's a plastic bed rail cover that actually sits down a little bit more than the sheet metal. You need to notch that out for these clamps. It's, you know, maybe a 1/4 inch by the width of the clamp itself once you get it positioned, because you can see there's sheet metal up underneath of that. You're not going to trim the sheet metal at all, just the plastic cover, because if you don't, when you go to tighten your clamp down, it's going to want to push up on this plastic. And you're going to choose your position. You're going to want roughly 1/8 to 1/4 inch along the back of the cab, and then side to side you're just going to want to make sure that it's lined up as best you can. What I did and what the instructions tell you to do is literally place it as if you were going to close everything. Now you check your lines. For the F-150 in specific, mine, I leave this outer nipple, if you want to call it, visible on both sides, just slightly. Okay, so you can see there, sits back a little bit. There, sits back a little bit. You can still see that raised edge a little bit. Okay, so now you're going to fold it back up. Be sure not to bump it or move it outside of its placement. Okay, as you can see, it lines up. Okay, so now it's on, and you can see here, watch when I pull the, you see that opened that up just a little bit. That is the actual plastic cap on the truck. As you open and close your tailgate, it's probably going to push that forward a little bit. So when you measure, keep that in mind, and maybe give this a little bit of a tap. That way it's the whole way forward. But as you can see there, it's about 1/8 to 1/4 inch gap the whole way across. Okay. Straight, it's closed up, sealed up good. Didn't move, but eventually it probably will, just a little bit. As you saw, it only took me about a minute to get this thing off, and maybe a minute or two to get it back on. I don't do that very often, maybe once or twice a month as we haul these four-wheelers around, go up to the cabin for the weekend. But on daily driving, normal driving, going down the highway, through town, etc., with this thing installed, the one thing that I have noticed over a 1-year period is the vinyl seems to have loosened up a little bit. Kind of to be expected, you know, especially in the down the highway. This flaps a little bit more than I think it used to when it was new. But other than that, the straps, the fabric and the plastic, and the trim and the sewing, stitching, all has held up great for the past year. I haven't noticed anything actually worn through. I would presume that this is probably a 5 to 7 year component. I can't see it lasting any longer than that before, you know, you get snow or you drop a tool or you got something in the back and whatever, it just rips, sun fading. I park in a garage, so it doesn't see too many inclement weather days other than when it's sitting at work. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions or comments on this install or how it looks or what you guys think, if there's any other brands out there you think are better than this, let me know. And maybe when this one wears out in the next couple years, we'll try something else if the truck's still here. But there you have it. This is the Gator install and review. Thanks for watching.